Hello everyone, it's Annabella here. This week's reading is going to be a little shorter than usual because I caught a cold and talking is kind of a struggle right now, but I still wanted to put something out, so here we are. I'm continuing with my Chinese celebrity readings since that's what I've been watching and following lately. I feel like the Korean entertainment dramas just drag on too long and I'd rather read about what actually interests me. So today we're looking at Lusi and Zheyuan. I know I did a reading on them a long time ago, so long ago that I don't even remember what I say. But today we're doing an update. I'm sure some of you are curious about them, so let's dive in. Remember, this is a celebrity reading meant for entertainment only. So their first card is the Six of Cups. This card is all about memories. Sometimes it can represent exes or childhood sweethearts, but most of the time I see it as reminiscing about the past. And in this case, these are good memories. To me, this confirms that they definitely had a great time together when they were working. Their chemistry wasn't fake. There was something there, whether it was a creative spark or just a single man and a single woman genuinely enjoying each other's company. The connection felt real, but here's the thing, this is the first card and it represents the past. So I feel like whatever feelings were there might have only existed during that time. But let's keep going and see what the rest of the cards say. Next, we have the Six of Swords, another number 6 card. The Six of Swords represents moving on and transitioning to something new. Whenever I see this card, I usually take it as a sign that things have already progressed or shifted. It's like they've turned the page to another chapter in their lives. Now, whether that means they move on together or separately depends on the other cards. But since both of the first two cards are sixes, and 6 in tarot is associated with harmony and love, I do think they had a really good balance together. There was definitely a connection. That say, because this particular 6 is the Six of Swords, I believe that connection has moved forward, meaning they're already in a different phase of their lives. And that brings us to the next card, the Tower. The tower represents major changes, sometimes sudden, sometimes disruptive. When I see the figures falling from the tower, I often take it as a sign that two people are no longer standing on the same ground. They've let go and moved on. So, with the tower here, I strongly feel that whatever relationship they had before isn't the same anymore. That doesn't mean they're enemies or anything like that. They could still be friendly co-workers, but that Six of Cups feeling, the nostalgia, the emotional connection is no longer there. Also, since the Tower is a major arcana card, its energy is much stronger. I wouldn't associate it with anything ongoing that suggests they have a deeper relationship right now. It's more of a definitive shift rather than something that's still developing. The fourth card here is the Eight of Wands. Since this card represents speed and fast movement, I feel like it's highlighting how quickly everything happened. The Tower moment, the transition, and even the time they spent together. From what I see, the period when they had good feelings for each other, whatever that may have been, happened really fast. I'm not going to define the exact nature of their relationship because honestly, I don't know. But what I can see is that there was a strong connection at one point. However, with the Eight of Wands here, it feels like things move quickly and then were over just as fast. Lastly, we have the Eight of Pentacles. This card really wraps things up because at the end of the day, their relationship seems to have settled into something more professional. Both of them were rising stars at the time, and it looks like their focus was mainly on their careers, building their names, and gaining recognition. I also want to point out something interesting. We had two number 6 cards and two number 8 cards in this reading. As I mentioned earlier, 6 represents harmony, while 8 is about transformation and growth, sometimes even wisdom. And honestly, that makes sense here. Hidden Love was a massive hit and still is, which explains why the energy of the number 8 is so strong. It reflects that pivotal moment where both of them became even more well known because of this project. So, to sum it up, I think they can still be friendly now, but there are probably clear boundaries and professionalism within that friendship. That's it for today. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm keeping this reading a little shorter because I'm under the weather. Talking is tough right now, but if you're interested in a purchase reading, feel free to email me. For future readings, let me know what you like to see. I'll check the comments and see what interests me or if there are any topics a lot of people request. And as always, just a reminder, this is a celebrity reading meant for entertainment. Take everything with a grain of salt. Stay logical. That's it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.